You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Ross, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, we're going to talk about Carolina's ACC Opener against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on December 7th at 2 p.m. on the ACC Network, man. Shout out to the Huddle Hooligans for all of their continued support this year as we suffer through a 6-6 football season. And we're now coping with a 4-4 basketball team to compound the issues, man. But I'm glad I got my boys to lean on throughout the week, man. It's only $3.99 a month, price of an energy drink. It's like buying your boy a stinking cup of coffee for his troubles, man. You get access to the Huddle Hooligan Discord and the Planting the Flag series. And there's some really good guys in there, man. Really enjoy hanging out and talking with those guys through the week and kind of bouncing what we're hearing from the program off of each other, man. Live reaction and watch party for the game. So come hang with your boy as we see if the Hills can at least show that they'll be competitive against ACC competition, man. It's a good time for all of Tar Heel Nation from all over the world to be able to come together and watch some Carolina basketball. Now, before we get into the details of this basketball game, man, let's just stop for a second real quick and call this thing what it is. In my personal opinion, man, Carolina is in some trouble right now. The defense has been absolutely atrocious in the last 4 games as they're averaging, giving up just a shade under 91 points per game, and they're only scoring 83.5 points per game themselves. So we're not defending at all, and despite averaging those 83.5 points per game ourselves, Carolina has not been shooting the ball well from the field or from 3. And that's just not going to fly when you're starting 1, 2, and 3 are all 6'3" and under, especially when the one guy when we were counting on to develop into a consistent or decent low post presence, and we're talking about Jalen Washington here, has only averaged 3.5 points per game in his last 4, dude. And that's with a 9-point game in his pocket in the first of those 4 games, man. So the team lacks energy, at least consistent energy. The team definitely lacks focus, man. And the team looks like they have absolutely no identity right now. And HD has got to fix this thing, and quickly. So let's get into it. The 4-4 number 20 North Carolina Tar Heels host the 4-4 Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets this Saturday in both teams' ACC Opener. Now the Jackets are led by head coach Damon Stoudemire, who currently has a 18-22 record at Georgia Tech in his second year. Their leading scorer is a 6'3", 200-pound senior guard, Lance Terry, who is averaging 14.6 points per game, 2.6 boards, and 1.4 assists. He's shooting 48.2% from the floor and 39.5% from 3, and he's also a decent free throw shooter at 81.8% from the charity stripe. Now, their leading rebounder is a 6'9", 240-pound forward, Baye Ndongo, who is averaging 7.4 boards, 12.8 points per game, and 1.3 assists. He's shooting 52.1% from the floor and 50% from 3. Guy's long, athletic, really hard to stop coming backside. If you throw him a noop, he's going to go up and get it, and he's going to bring it down hard. And their leading assist man is the 6'3", 185-pound sophomore guard, Nathan George, who's averaging 5.9 assists to 1.8 turnovers per game, which is a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That is pretty good. He's also got 11 points a game, and he's averaging 2.3 rebounds. Now, the Hills are led by head coach Hubert Davis, who is 82-35 in his 4th year at UNC, which is good for a 7.01 win percentage. Carolina's leading scorer is a 6', 180-pound senior guard, R.J. Davis, who is averaging 18.4 points per game, 4 boards, and 4.4 assists. He's only shooting 35.3% from the floor and 24.2% from 3, and that's including that 1 for 11 mark that he posted against the Tide in Chapel Hill yesterday. But he's still shooting at a pretty good clip from the free throw line, 88.4% from the stripe. Now, their leading rebounder is the 6'9", 220-pound senior forward, Jalen Withers, who was averaging 5.9 rebounds and 6.6 points per game. He's shooting 42.1% from the floor and 37.5% from three. And the leading facilitator is the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore point guard, Elliot Cadeau, who was averaging 5.6 assists to 2.9 turnovers per game. That's not even quite a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. So his numbers have definitely dipped in the past week or two. He's also contributing 12.8 points per game and 3.5 boards. So now that we've looked at those individual statistics, let's take a look at the team statistics. And we can see that Georgia Tech is averaging 78.1 points per game and giving up 74.8 points per game. Carolina's averaging 88.4, and they're giving up 81.9. So now that we've taken a look at the individual and team statistics, let's take a look at your boy Russ's 3 keys to a Tar Heel victory, man. And key number 1 is this, and this was a quote that head coach Hubert Davis said in his presser after the Alabama game. We have to have sustained will, want to, and effort. That is a direct quote from the head man himself. He said, and I quote, "You can't be quiet in a game like this." Talking about the Alabama game, what is required is to empty the tank. He said he told the guys that last night before the game, and the outcome showed that they did not play well at all last night. Now, Carolina's first 4 possessions on defense were fantastic. High energy, pressing the guards at the top. But the problem was that it wasn't sustained. And as disappointed as I am with HD and this team right now, he is 100% right when he says you can't even talk about X's and O's without first having sustained will, want to, and effort. Now, Carolina is on a 3-game losing streak. It's their first conference game in the building that you just got ran out of by the Crimson Tide. I need to see the juice for 40 minutes. And it all starts with locking in on defense. That is exactly how UNC turned the corner last year. And I would wager to guess that that is how they will turn the corner this year. Key number 2, EC under control. Cadeau has had an awful 4-game stretch. And it all came to a head against the Tide when this was his line for that game. 25 minutes, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 2 from 3, 6 boards, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers. That's a 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Not good for a player of his caliber. And 1 point. He cannot play like that if this team is going to be successful. EC, and this is, I don't think it's very debatable. EC is probably the most important player on this team right now in the terms of how far this basketball team will go, being predicated on the way that he plays. He has got to play under control, not worry about the referees, and run the offensive sets. We need him to be as sturdy as a rock. When he falls apart, the Carolina offense is literally a ship without a rudder. So EC has got to be under control. And key number 3, where's RJ? Yes, RJ is averaging 18 points per game, but he's shooting at an unbelievably inefficient clip to this point of the season. He's being guarded by bigger guards with longer wingspans, and he has struggled to create separation. We've got to find ways to get RJ rolling, man. He is the one proven scorer on this basketball team. Yes, Ian and Drake have had their nights, but they also have had games where they haven't really put their thumbprint on it. RJ has got to get going if Carolina is going to hang with the big dogs, and it starts by helping him create room for his shot. You guys remember when, watching Allen Iverson? I used to watch a lot of Allen Iverson back in the early 2000s, man. It wasn't just a high ball screen. and letting him work off that. AI would literally run off of about 3 daggum screens to get him a clean look at the bucket, man. RJ is that good of a shooter. RJ is probably a better shooter, obviously, than Allen Iverson, okay? But you've got to find ways to get him clean looks so that he can get that stroke back, man. That is what I want to see. We got to get RJ going, man. And that'll take us to the prediction portion of this game. Now, the ESPN matchup indicator gives the Heels a 92.1% chance at beating the Yellow Jackets in the Dean Dome, and I'd say that's fair enough, man. It'll also be a little reunion for Carolina transfer for Ty Claude. Now, this is going to be a drastic step down in overall talent, considering what Carolina has faced over the last 4 ball games, because they have played some really good teams. The Heels have got to start ACC play with a win, man. They have to. To struggle in this game at the house would be absolutely red con 1. Now, I do believe that North Carolina will win this basketball game by 15, but it will do very little aside from get us back in the win column and reaffirm the fact that we should be able to compete in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So a win here does not necessarily mean, hey, we figured it out, right? But at the same time, to not win here or to struggle in this game would be extremely alarming. We'll put it that way. So you let me know what you think about this game down in the comment section. Tar Heel and Yellow Jacket Nation. Is your boy onto something, man? Or am I sitting up there in the bleachers having no idea what I'm talking about? If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And we'll see you Saturday, baby, for the live reaction and watch party. Go Heels.